We have good news today. In fact, it was yesterday. The European Council and the European Parliament, in their trilogue, they agree on a package of issues. First, the new regulations for 2014-20, then the budget for this same period, and as well the budget for 2014. In this particular, concerning this budget, and for those who are saying that there is no money available, I must tell you that at least for 2014 budget, there is 62 billion euros for smart and inclusive growth, not only for the Baltic Sea region, is clear. 56 billion for sustainable growth, 6 billion for research operational program Horizon, and 1 billion euros for youth employment initiatives. Of course, together with a commitment of 4 billion, which shows exactly the engagement and the commitment of everybody, Council, Parliament, and Commission, to make an important step towards this difficult situation of the youth employment. All these issues will be formally adopted, we hope, by the Council on the 19th of November and by the European Parliament in the 20th of November. I'd like just to tell something about the results of these discussions as we have seen it from the Commission perspective. To come back to the core topic of our forum, we heard yesterday and today many speakers who all agree that obviously a better environmental situation is a vital necessity, that environment can be no longer perceived as a constraint, but as a great opportunity to think differently our economic future and to use it as an invaluable asset. Sessions and workshops have shown that, first, yes, blue and green growth should come together. Research and innovations related to technology development are key drivers for maritime growth and jobs. A Baltic master plan for maritime technologies could be developed. Secondly, yes, green shipping is the only way in the future, and clean shipping can be a profitable activity. Yes, we need to improve the governance of the Baltic Sea in a more integrated way, cross-country, cross-sectorial, between various policies, and cross-sectorial to include private sector. Yes, the renewable energies issue is a tricky one and a good case for improving the governance, which calls for political awareness and business awareness in a coordinated way. This means long-term legal commitment by member states, credibility through transparency and commitment of stakeholders, including private operators, to the process, and innovative democracy schemes, and so on. Yes, the strategy can help in improving the formulation of enabling policies measures by using the existing platforms or committees steered by PACs and ALS in the jargon of our Baltic Sea region strategy. Suppose everybody understands. Yes, there are clear requests from several operators for more resources at transnational level, which would help change the mindset, the work methods, and improve the results. This is something member states and their governments must hear and take into account in their future choices. Yes, last but not the least, we need to better communicate on our successes, and project communication must evolve, adapt, and invite. If you raise the right questions, people will start thinking differently on the objectives we are trying to reach. And I would like to make 3 announcements or 3 ideas about this communication to illustrate. First, we have a new section in the strategy website called Good Practices for Programming 2014-20. Will be available next week, this new section. So we prepare for of course, Interact Turku. We have already mentioned the Swedish idea for cooperation under the programs for Objective 1. So we ask you that if you have any good ideas to share with others, please send it to the strategy email that you know very well. So I suppose that this is something concrete that we can use and profit as much as we can. All these findings expressed during the forum confirms that the government's issue is a very serious one, and will need that we broadly consult at Baltic Sea regional level to finally reply to this crucial question: how can we do it? So, before closing, I would like to give you some impressions of our ideas for the next steps. The Commissioner Hahn has been very clear about what still needs to be done in this respect. The urgent task is to make sure that the strategy is not forgotten in the current negotiations. National contact points still need to mobilize their contacts and networks in their countries to ensure the strategy is properly embedded in the new programs. PACs and ALS must act in a similar way in their spheres of influence. The Commission will also play its role in the negotiations to ensure a good result in this respect. We are at the moment screening partnership agreements, we are screening programs, but it's up to you as well to play this role. Of course, there are ideas that, for instance, PACs should be directly involved officially and formally in the future steering committees for the partnership agreements, but other ideas can be raised, like the participation of PACs in monitoring committees of the different programs. So this is something that we have to discuss and work very quickly, so that before the approval of these programs, we have a clear idea and we can act clearly and in conformity. Another issue is, right after, we'll have to submit on this process of governance, we have to submit a structured proposal next year to the Council, whereby Member States fully assume a leading role at institutional level. Regional and local authorities, as well as NGOs, can influence the decisions. Private operators can bring into the implementation of the projects their expertise and their economic impact. So in this particular point, we will make a proposal, and we hope that things will be discussed. And the strategy, in our point of view, must be considered by ministers as a further opportunity to meet regularly and to plan what their future common decisions will be in order to reach the objectives they had fixed to improve the environmental situation, the connections in the region, and the prosperity level. The intention is that ministerial meetings are organized during and after the Baltic Week next year in Turku and in other places. I hope that the proposals that the Commission is going to make for a better ownership and leadership of the different macro-region strategies, as the Commissioner said, probably in the different ways for each one of the strategies according to the different realities. So we hope that this document that we are preparing at the moment will be presented next year in the annual forum in Turku, as well as in Vienna for the Danube region during the months of June 2014, and that it will give a satisfactory reply to some of the questions raised until now on this particular issue of ownership and leadership of the strategies. Area and Miko will give you some information about Turku Forum in a few moments, and I suppose that this kind of things will be included on the future program. And I would like just to make a final comment, which is thanks very much the Finnish authorities for accepting the organization of the next annual forum in Turku in next June. And I hope to see all of you there, including our friends, students. I hope that you have a safe trip back home. And I say you bye-bye and aciu.